Your mixes sound both unique, but also quite spacious and three dimensional. Why do you think that is? And how do you approach a mix down? I'm curious.
Um, hmm. Well, I think the reason they're spacious is just because of probably the panning that I do.
Mm.
I really try to. I remember listening to some of my older tracks and they're all like center channel. Like they're
Yep.
you could like flip your headphones around and nothing would change. It would all be the same. And I was like, I really don't like that, you know. And I've been listening to a lot of music where the different elements are panned all over the place, and it really brought it to life and gave the track depth. And so I started doing that in my tracks, and moving a pad to the left slightly, and then making a tom fill on the right. You know, will just kind of stretch the viewer's perspective, and so they can hear from different angles, and they'll get a better view on the whole track. And I'm sorry, I forgot the second thing you asked me was the second thing.
I'll ask it in a moment, but with panning, is it something that's kind of completely random? I mean, I know some people will always pan a hi-hat to the left or always pan a tom to the right. I mean, is it
Mhm.
something that changes with every project for you, or do you have kind of a set model?
It is. I guess there's a little bit of a formula for me. Usually, there's really nothing dead center except for like the kick and the bass, and then as the elements get higher and higher in the frequency range, you can be more and more free with how hard you pan it.
Mm.
So like a bass pad, or not a bass pad, but like a mid pad will be not more than maybe um, 20 units to the left,
Mm.
and then when you really have leads and stuff, the leads can be like fully stereo, or they can be panned almost all the way to the right, or all the way to the right, depending on how it goes. But you can get freer and freer the higher up you go, and then
Mm.
it's generally better to stay centered when you get to the bass, and lower
Yeah,
than that.
yeah, for sure. In terms of stereo widening, you're using Ableton. How do you approach that?
Stereo widening is, for me, I guess I don't do it very much. Actually, recently I've been doing it a lot,
Mm.
but that's mostly in my synths. Um, like all the new material I've been working on has these big synths that are just split like straight down the middle. And the big problem with stereo widening is, of course, if you just copy something twice and then pan
Yeah,
one of the copies to the left, one to the right, they're just gonna sound a lot louder and sound like one. So you have to
yeah,
differentiate them. Um, so what I do is, if I have, like, for example, with the track with Veronica, if I am splitting her vocals in half and trying to stereo image them, I'll make one copy to the left, and then you can pitch it up a little bit, and then
Mm.
one copy to the right, and you can leave it, or you can even pitch it down to make it even a little bit more different. Um, and you can change the timing, so one will be a little bit before the other, and as long as they sound different enough, they'll really bring the stereo image to life, and they won't phase, which
yeah,
is the best part.
yeah, yeah, for sure.